My loves, welcome back. It's Jenny. How is everyone doing today? I am so excited to do this video for you guys today. We're going to be doing a VR from Simon. He has a tag out called 10 Tarot Decks Never Leaving My Collection. I'm so excited to join this because I really love to share with you guys the decks that have really transformed my life and has really given me so much hope and so much love in my life. And so I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Simon, for coming up with this VR. I'm super excited to do it. And I'm going to link his video at the bottom of his video so you can also go to his channel and see, what he selected. And he has like a really in-depth conversation that's really interesting. You should definitely go check him out and see that video because there's a lot of insights that he really kind of like shares with us, and it's very educational, actually, to be honest with you. Okay, let's talk about the decks, right? So the very first one that I want to talk about is this one right here. This one is called the Light Seers Tarot. I love this deck. This is one of my favorites. This is the only one that I absolutely will never leave behind. I know we have 10 to choose from, but out of the 10, if I had to choose one, it would be this one. This deck has been with me forever. This is my very first tarot deck that I have ever used and that I have ever like instantly connected to. I am one of those people that love, if I had to choose between a tarot and an oracle, I would absolutely choose oracle. I love my oracle decks, yeah. Of course I do tarot as well, but I am more like an oracle person. And I don't really go more towards tarot, but this one here, instantly connected with, instantly loved, instantly had this emotional, spiritual, physical, just every kind of connection that you could think of. And I love her so much, and I would never leave her ever. And so it's beautiful. It's so intuitively. I really am not too familiar with tarot associations. I still need to use the book, and I'm still studying to understand a little bit of the meaning behind these amazing decks. But I gotta tell you, this particular deck that I have here, it's so intuitively for me. Like it instantly talks to me without me even knowing anything about it. Like it talks to me, it gives me the messages, and it just so intuitively driven to give me the message without me needing to go and finding out or validating the message. Yeah, I mean, of course, sometimes I do use there's a guidebook, that a huge guidebook that I love to use, and also the mini one as well. But what I'm saying is that it's a very beautiful intuitive deck, and I would never leave this deck ever. I also have like associations with some of the decks in here. Like I see a deck and I can associate a feeling or a person or a thing when I see it. So it's a very beautiful, amazing deck, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so that's the first one I want to show you. These are not going to be in any particular order, so just so you know, okay, no particular order. Okay, the other one that I want to show you is this amazing deck. This is such a beautiful oracle deck. The layout on this oracle deck is absolutely lovely. It's so eye-catching, and it's so simple, but it has so much in-depth, powerful messages. I love the format of this deck. I love the images on this deck. I absolutely love this oracle deck. Will never leave my collection. This is one of the, when I first started dipping my toes into oracle decks, this probably would have been one of my most recent ones that I can kind of say I can remember starting to get familiar with this kind of beautiful divination. So these decks are beautiful, absolutely eye-catching, very loving, very comforting. it just brings so much emotions and so much in-depth knowledge, but in a very comforting way. If I ever had to, like, if I was ever lucky to create an oracle deck, I would absolutely use this as my inspiration, because how this deck makes me feel is how I would love everyone else to feel when they look at their decks. That comfort, that love, that emotional support, right? Just everything. It just brings so much emotions for me. It's beautiful. So, okay, so this is the second one that I can show you. The third one that I'm going to show you is also a very, these are all kind of like new to me when I first started dipping my toes into, you know, reading oracle decks. And so this is another one. This is a beautiful deck. Now this deck, I have this deck associated with something that really helped me a lot in my time that I needed to understand. I have a really, really strong connection with this deck when it comes to my ancestors. This deck really helped me understand their energy and helped me understand their messages and their guidance. So a lot of my ancestor kind of energy is really, really for me in this deck. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful deck. It's so earthy. There's so many herbs in here. The history about it is so beautiful, written in the book. You also have a lot of wonderful history of the understanding of the herbs. This is also one of those decks that helped me understand ceremonial understanding, like, you know, workings, and it really brought me to be more open to have that kind of work with my ancestors. So this is really, really another deck that absolutely I love. So beautiful, so soft. I love working with this deck also in the fall. I don't know why. I guess because maybe the fall colors. I work with it all the time because, of course, I always try to connect with my ancestors and my beautiful guides. But it really kind of like comes out really heavy in the fall for me. So it's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, my loves. Let's put her back. The other one that I want to show you that we're going to talk about next is this one called Healing with the Angels Oracle deck. This deck helped me connect and communicate with my spirit guides and understand their energy and understand how to communicate with them. And this deck also helped me a lot with grief. I received a lot of really wonderful supporting messages when I was going through grief in a time of my life. And I worked a lot with this deck when it came to that. A very beautiful, simple, but just beautiful oracle deck. I don't think this oracle deck is actually in print right now. I believe this oracle deck was actually pulled out from circulation because this deck is from Doreen Virtue. So we kind of already know what happened with that, right? If you don't know, then you can probably Google it. I'm not going to go through that in this video. But this deck has also been such a wonderful, supportive energy in my life, especially through grief. Absolutely through grief. And it's just beautiful. that is called, it's called Healing with the Angels. I don't know if you can find this. You can probably get it like maybe in eBay or like, you know, any second, like where you can buy used cards, because I don't think this is actually out for sale. I don't think they sell this anymore. Okay, the other deck that I have here, this is actually an oracle. This is actually a tarot deck. I only have two tarots in here, this one and this one. Again, I'm more like an oracle person. So, okay, so this one right here has a really a really amazing story behind it. I actually had this deck for a very long time, and this deck really pulled me out of a very terrible state of mind when I was really going through grief in the past. And it really gave me a lot of insight. It really gave me a lot of understanding about grief. It really gave me a lot of healing. And I'm really super attached to this deck. It actually just, it's very emotional deck for me. I can even just kind of like feel the like emotions that I have with this deck, because it helped me a lot in my, I'm sorry guys. Okay, it helped me a lot in my worst time of my life, and I feel right now very emotional. But I have to tell you, it's not emotions of sadness. Actually, it's emotion of happiness, because it really did do a lot of really good things for me when I needed it the most. And so, yeah, it's a beautiful deck. I used to, I'm sorry if you hear people talking in the background, that's actually my family. I used this deck when I needed it the most, and it really helped me because I used it as an oracle deck actually. Even though it's a tarot deck, I found out, or I kind of like realized that the messages was really helping me more than the actual messages that you would get from a tarot deck. So I started using it in that way, and it really helped me a lot. It really took me out of a really bad place in my life, and I really have a really heavy emotion attachment to this deck in an emotional way. It would be impossible for me not to feel these emotions when I look at these decks and I remember you know, things that just comes to my mind. Anyway, I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to happen, but this is why I love these kind of things, because, you know, it kind of shows you like, it shows you how much this really means to you. Yeah, how much you really love what you do and love what you're showing to people, and it's great. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so let's continue. Let's talk about the next one. This is another one that I absolutely love. Okay, so this deck right now is one of the ones that I'm working with, as a matter of fact. And I'm working it because I love, you know, I'm Taurus. I'm a Taurus. My birthday is May 14. So obviously I love like herbs, right? Earthy. I'm earth. My earth is obviously a part of me, yeah. So a lot of earthy stuff is in this deck, and this is one, actually this is my very first oracle deck that I got, and so obviously that's why it's here, yeah. And I love this deck so much. It has so much earthy, lovely messages in this deck, and it's beautiful. The guidebook is absolutely beautiful. Ooh, the guidebook is very lovely. It's beautiful. This is my first deck that introduced me to the love and the understanding of like ancient wisdom with like herbs, yeah. And it just brought me to that love for herbs. I always had a love for herb, but this really brought it out. Really brought it out, right? So this is another beautiful magical deck that I just absolutely love, especially when it comes to herbs. I love working with this deck because it just gives you such wonderful communication, like back and forth, if you really have that connection with her. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. And I'm going to link all that I can in the bottom of this video so that if you guys are interested, you can absolutely, you know, do your research, obviously, and you can see if you want this for your collection if you don't have it. The next one is called Wisdom of, let's see, Wisdom of the Oracle. Another beautiful oracle deck. Very, very, very beautiful. This gives me clear connecting messages. It allows me to really, really interpret these messages in a very natural, kind of flowy kind of way. Absolutely gorgeous. Also love. Will never leave my collection. I love it. I love it. And I think that this particular deck gives you really, really just to the point messages. The guidebook is amazing. And the images are amazing. Everything is amazing. And I love it. This is a very old deck, but it's still so powerful. So, so powerful. And so lovely. These images are absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Very, very beautiful. Okay, my beautiful friends. Let's put this one away. So the next one I'm going to talk to you about is called Mystic Path. This is actually the newest in my collection, but I got to tell you, I am obsessed with this deck. This deck does not have a guidebook. This deck is actually meant to be worked intuitively. It gives you clear understanding of self-discovery. This deck absolutely, wait, give me 1 second. This deck absolutely will put you in a state of mind of understanding what you're seeing in the deck, of understanding what the messages want to share with you. It's really pleasing to the eye, and it's really intuitively, and it's just really, it's really fascinating how you receive these messages in such a I don't know what's the word, self-awareness. It brings a lot of self-awareness to you. It is beautiful. I bought this deck not too long ago. This hasn't been in my collection for a very long time. Maybe a year, maybe like 2 years ago, maybe 3. And I love the messages in this deck, and I love the images too. It kind of really gives you a very beautiful self-awareness message that can really help you navigate whatever it is that you're going through, or whatever it is that you want to kind of figure out about yourself. It's very beautiful. Okay, and this one is called Mystic Path Oracle deck. Okay, the other oracle deck that I want to show you that I absolutely adore is called this one right here, which is called the Stone Shadow Oracle. This deck also bought about a few years ago, recently. Yeah, not one of those like oldies. This is like a recent one compared to the other ones that I showed you. But I gotta tell you about this deck. This is a really interesting deck. I gotta tell you, this deck is something else, okay? This deck unfolds for me the understanding on like the underworld kind of journey. It's kind of like a shadow-ish kind of deck, yeah? But for me, it allowed me to understand the journey of the underworld, and it allowed me to understand the sacred darkness energy. But I gotta tell you, the interpretation of this deck, even though it has kind of like dark kind of messages, for me, not I don't know about you, but for me, I feel that this deck still brings me to like a place of like safety, and like it feels like it holds my hand even though I'm going through like a dark maybe issue or a dark thought or a dark journey. It still feels safe. It still feels supported. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I have a lot of shadow work decks, and I'm gonna be honest with you. The only deck that I truly connect with without any hesitation is this deck. And the thing about this deck is, even if I have like this dark kind of journey that I'm going through, it always somehow feels safe for me. It always somehow holds my hand in a safe place. I don't feel like heavy. I don't feel sad. I don't feel uncomfortable, because shadow work can be all of that. For some reason, this deck doesn't do that for me. I have other decks that does, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because every deck gives you different energies, right? But this deck for me, oh man, yeah, I don't know. This deck I think is absolutely beautiful. For me, this deck is, if I ever had to, I don't know, it just feels like it's safe. It just feels safe for me. Even like in the darkest, unhealthy place, it still feels safe for me. I don't know, there's something about this deck that even though it has like it feels dark and it feels shadow-ish, it feels really home to me. I don't know why. There's a real strong connection that I still don't even understand, but I love that I have with this deck. And it has to do with like the darkness. It has to do with like the underworld. It has to do with like that journey in itself. And I don't know, it's just, there's something about this deck that I just can't really. Do you guys have that? Do you have like a deck in your collection that there's just something about the deck that you love, you cannot live without? You understand it, but there's just like that one thing that just doesn't want to reveal itself to you. Yeah? Do you feel like that way about any of your decks? It doesn't want to reveal. It is not that it's hiding anything, or it's not that it's not unhealthy, or it's not that it's going to scare you. It just feels like it wants you to figure it out. I want you to figure out what is that tickle that you cannot find out about this deck. I don't know. It makes me go there. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I love this deck so much, because it makes me go there. It makes me go there. Okay, love it. Love this deck. Okay, the last one that I'm going to show you is this deck right here. Now, this deck, also kind of new to my collection. I'll tell you what this deck is called for me, because I already have a name for her. Okay? This deck is called my Diva deck. This deck is fire, okay? Fire for me. Fire, okay? I don't know why, but this deck is fire for my soul, fire for my life, for my situation, for my growth. Is fire. Fire. I don't know why, okay? This is the only deck in my collection that will literally make me physically react in the moment. Okay, it allows me to embody the message in a physical earthly experience. This deck right here. Okay, that's the best way I can explain it to you. When this deck tells me to dance, it literally makes me dance. Okay, I literally have to get up and dance. It's like one of those decks that talk to me in a way that I don't even understand how. I don't even understand how. Okay, a lot of the decks that I have, of course, you journal and you go through like some journeys, and you go through some messages, and you go to some guidance, and then you journal, and then maybe the message will tell you, well, you need to do this in the future, or you need to do that in the future, or you'll get some downloads that says, well, please, see if you can do this kind of like, I don't know, ceremonial or ritual or whatever. And then you start working with that, right? You start putting those things together. You start putting the whatever you need together to create that kind of like ceremonial vibe. This deck doesn't want me to do that. This deck is like, no. Oh, no. You don't have to. No, you don't have to do that. You just do it. You're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. You're going through a journey with me right now. Right now as we speak. Okay? You're transforming right now as we speak. You're standing for justice like right now as we speak. I don't know. This deck does that to me. It does that to me. It makes me want to do whatever it's telling me. Or I feel like connected to whatever message that it wants to give me. And I feel like I got to do it. Like this is one of those things that I have to do it. I gotta get focused. I gotta get focused, like right now in the moment. It's like one of those decks, like right now in the moment, we gotta do it. Answer the call, like right now in the moment. I don't know. That's why I call it my diva deck, because god damn, it's like a fire. It's like a fire in this deck that whenever I work with it, she's like, no, let's twist, like let's turn, like do it right now. Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. It's so funny. It's such a wonderful, wonderful energy. I love it. I love it. I just love it. Which is the one the last time I did a reading on this deck, I got, where is it? Wait, I gotta show you which one it was. And I was like, okay, I'll do it right now. Like, okay, we'll do it right now. Where is it? Oh, this one. The Walk Flower Path. I was like, what? It says walk the flower path. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what? And I was just like, okay, fine. You know what I did? I took the deck with me. I took the guidebook. I took my journal, and I went to the park. And there's like a little ramp of like these beautiful flowers and these beautiful like wildflowers. I walked that ramp, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. Like, it's just, I'm telling you, it's just one of these decks that this is the only deck that does it to me. Okay, I have, like I said, I have a lot of nice, beautiful collection. I'm very blessed to be able to have a few decent amount of collections in my desk. In my collection. This is the only deck that does that for me. The only one. I love her. I love her so much. I love her when she gives me that fire, because sometimes you need that, right? Sometimes you need to get out of your head, and you need that. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you check out Simon's video. Thank you so much for this amazing VR. I'm super excited. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And now I'm going to go and I'm going to watch more of these VRs. I love watching other people's tarot decks and their choices of what, brings them joy and what is in their collection. So thank you all so much for stopping by. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.